नमः सर्वेभ्यः हरि ओम् अपरोक्षानुभूति अनुवर्तते। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। हरि ओम्। शोभा भगिनी।
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रीहरिं परमानन्दम् उपदेष्टारमीश्वरम् व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तं नमाम्यहम्। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम्।
धन्यवाद भगिनी।
धन्यवाद महोदय।
So we were discussing about the 15 angas which Acharya Shankara is going to describe for the mediocre students who have not understood what the rest of the slokas have been explaining, and very vividly explained, which for an Uttamadhikari or an apt student it should have it should have been shining on the meaning in the hearing itself. But normally the problem with the tattva jnana or the explanation of the truth is that such that there are three type of infections that can happen, which is prohibiting the understanding of the knowledge. Ajnana samshaya viparya. Ajnana is not knowing what is being told. Samshaya is ubhayakodi jnanam, that is whether the teacher meant this or that, that the clarity is not there. So that is what is called samshaya, or whether is he telling the truth or not. Even that itself it can be a question. Samshaya. And viparya is viparita jnanam, or opposite, totally opposite understanding. When it is, for example, what they show is that even though it is used for Lakshanavarti also, suppose if a child is being shown on the moon, on the branch, he will never be able to focus to the moon which is between the branches which is shining. He will still look for somebody sitting on the branch, like a monkey sitting on the branch. He will still say, I'm not seeing the monkey, or I'm not seeing the Chandra, because he has been told as a child that that moon uncle is the one who gives the light in the night. So he is expecting a physical body to be there. So when it is not seen, when his father is showing that look at the moon between the branches, he will still expect somebody in physical form to be there, and that moon will not be accepted. This is some example of a viparita jnanam, or misunderstanding or non-apprehension of the reality. Now, with these three are the things which makes a student a mediocre student. For that, there are kashaya nivrutti, means the removal of these impediments which are staying in our mind for the truth to shine with itself. Because in the entire 100 slokas, what Acharya till now explained was the truth who we are, that aparoksha jnanam. That what is the aparoksha jnanam? It is what who we are. He start saying from that See, the one who is seeing is different from the seen. The object is different from the subject. So, Gadadushta Gadad Bhinnaha. The one who sees a pot is different from the pot. Same way, Dehadrushta Dehad Bhinnaha. We are seeing our body, we are knowing our body, its changes, its functions, whatever happens onto the body. Body here includes all the three shariras. Sushma, Karana and Stula Sharira. All the three, the physical body, the mental body, and even the deep sleep Karana Sharira, which is called. We are aware, means we are the perceiver and these bodies are perceived. So when that explanation is given, what the Acharya is telling is our own nature, true nature, what we are. And that has been explained by quoting various sources in the Upanishads, various methods in which it can be removed. How, like peeling an onion, we can remove layer by layer. And then all the methods he has explained in the 100 slokas. And yet, if we are not able to shift our identity from the body, mind and intellect to our real nature, then we should consider ourselves as mediocre and what he calls as Mandadhikari. So for Mandadhikari, for the mediocre students, there is requirement for what is called sharpening the mind, or capacity for the mind to develop the analytical skills, or vichara marga, vichara karniya. Vichara means inquiry into the real nature of who we are is to be done. Now how that is to be done was explained in the sloka, many slokas before. And we have been also shown what are the adhyasa. Adhyasa means atasmin tadbuddhi. What is not is accepted as what is other than that. That condition is what is called adhyasa in simple terms. For example, the movement of the moon due to the movement of the cloud, we call it as movement, the moon is running. Or, like that, many examples were given. We see the pot is separate from the mud. And the same way, there is a superimposition of snake on a rope, or a ghost on a post. Many examples were given in the sloka by Acharya Shankara for us to understand that it is the same way the awareness Atma, the Satchitananda or Satyajnanam Anandam Brahma, it's all the same, or that the Dehatvam or the body which is a Jada, which is made of inert material, that feeling is superimposed on the Atma that I am the body. I am the Karta, I am the Bhokta, like all the actions of the body is superimposed on the awareness. Awareness is just aware. Or Chit is just aware. Chit is just aware of what is happening in its presence. But by the what you call mix-up of between the two of the inert body and the sentient Atma, the actions of the body is superimposed onto the Atma saying, I am the doer, and I am the fat, I am the thin, I am the white, I am the black, I am Indian, I am Asian, I am US. All that what is attributed to the body is attributed, and we say, I am that. I am male, I am female, I am old, I am young. All those things are of the body which is attributed, and we are saying I am that. Whereas we are, when I say I am that awareness which is aware of that body is old, body is young, body is, male, body is female. But when we say I am male, I am female, when we say that, we are doing this mix-up of the identity. Same way, the awareness which is the nature of the Atma, when it is shining in the mind, we say I am knowing, and that emotions and everything which we forget is that of the mind, and the awareness which is reflected in the mind, we assume that we are that. So, but the body then assumes the role of that I am the Atma. So the ego springs up at that state of saying, and that the ego then assumes the role of the Atma, and the Atma is a Sakshi, Shuddha Chittam. It is neither refuting that nor doing anything. Only if we do vichara, we do the analysis of that, we can make out the difference between these two. So all these have been explained in different steps by the 100 slokas which we have finished. Still, if we have not understood and we are not been able to, have the anubhuti, aparoksha anubhuti means immediate experience of what we are, then nididhyasitavya. Acharya says, then you have to do nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is a process of, vichara with meditation. It is not just a meditation, the part Patanjali says of Ashtanga Yoga. Here he has added 15 angani, Tripancha angani in the process of, it is a beautiful, admixture of Patanjali's method plus Advaita in this 15 steps what he is explaining. If we'll go through that step by step. Atra Shubhapani, first mantra and can you read?
Mहोदय. नित्याभ्यासादृते प्राप्तिः न भवेत् सच्चिदात्मनः तस्मात् ब्रह्मनिधिध्यासेत् जिज्ञासुश्रेयसे चिरम्. पदच्छेदः. नित्याभ्यासादृते प्राप्तिः न भवेत् सच्चिदात्मनः तस्मात् ब्रह्मनिधिध्यासेत् जिज्ञासुः श्रेयसे चिरम्. अन्वयः. नित्याभ्यासादृतेः सच्चिदात्मनः प्राप्तिः न भवेत् तस्मात् जिज्ञासुः श्रेयसे ब्रह्मचिरं निदिध्यासेत्. मंदाधिकारी अन्यत् सर्वं कर्म सगुणोपासन विचाररूपं साधनं च विहाय श्रद्धया आचार्योक्त प्रकारेण निर्गुणं ब्रह्मैव निधिध्यासेत् इति आह नित्य इति स्पष्टम्. धन्यवादः महोदय.
So from this sloka onwards, he is taking step by step what are the things to be done for that nididhyasana, for the purpose of those who have not been able to have the knowledge from the slokas before. What are the method in which we can proceed? Nityabhyasat dhriti prapti na bhavet sacchidatmanah tasmat brahma nididhyaset jitnyasu shreyase chiram. Jitnyasu, one who is jnatum ichu, one who is having the burning desire to know the truth. Shreyase, through the mark of good, and chiram is ever. Nitya abhyaset, he should do daily practice. Dhritehe, in the intellect. What? Yati Satchitananda Atmana Prapti Na Bhavet. So the previous slokas had explained the Satchidatmanaha Swarupa Kim. What is the nature of the Satchit Ananda Atma? If that has not been achieved, Bhavet, therefore the Jitnyasu should do the Nityabhyasa. Daily he have to do the Dhrite Abhyasa. Dhrite means it is through intellect. This is why this is different from the other Nididhyasana of the Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali. Patanjali has got asana, pranayama, pratyahara, etc., Ashtanga Yoga. Whereas here he is starting with the verse itself, he is saying that Nidhyabhyaset Dhrite. In the Dhriti. Dhriti means intellect. Mantadikari, the mediocre student, Anyat Sarvam. What is Anyat Sarvam? Everything else. Everything else he is listing out. Karma, Sakunopasana, Vichara Rupam, Sadhanam Cha. So here he is including all ritualistic methods in which, and the Patanjali Yoga Sutra methods also, where he said, sadhana, dharana, dhyana, samanam. That also is vihaya, means having abandoned all the methods in which currently, see why it is said that karma, sagunopasana, vichara rupa, sadhanam cha vihaya. For all these karma, for the actions, and upasana in the name of saguna upasana, that is Murti Puja or, Archana, Shravana, all this, where the Saguna is kept in mind, there is always that tendency for the Dhidi or the mind or the intellect to look outward, because all these things are external. Gadadrishta, Gadad Bhinnaha. So you want to look yourself, you cannot have a entity external to you and do that as a reality. That is good for the purpose of bringing the mind under control. But that will not know that jitnyasu, for the one who wants to have the knowledge, that will not help. Why? Because as soon as Dvitiyad vai bhayam bhavati, itaramandaram kurute atatasya bhayam bhavati. From the second, you have the limitation. Anything other than you, there is a limitation for you. There is a limitation for the other also. And from the second, we can always have a fear that will either encroach me or inhale and limit me and attack me, or whatever may be that, or powerful than me. All sorts of fear can develop from that. So when you are having all these type of thoughts, you can never look within yourself, which the Kathopanishad says, Paranchikani vyatranat swayambhu tasmat parang pashyati antaratman. All the sense organs, what is created by the creator of the physical body, has kept sense organs in such a way that it can only sense objects from outside. Na antaratman, it can never look within to see the source from where, the power with which we are sensing everything. Kachit dhiraha pratyekatmanam aichat. That dhiraha, here dhiraha means dhimantaha, that dhrite, the word which is used, nidyabhyasa dhrite, same that dhatu only. So dhiraha pratyekatmanam aichat. He saw the very self in himself. How? Avritta chakshu amrutatvam icchan. By desiring the immortality, Avritta chakshu, he turned his vision inward. Instead of looking outward through the sense organs, he started looking for the source from where the awareness comes. So therefore, karma sagunopasana vichara rupanam sadhanam cha vihaya makes much more importance for a jitnyasu, one who want to do nididhyasana, and shraddhaya, with attention, acharya ukta prakarena, that acharya ukta prakarena, the way in which he has told, nirgunam brahma eva, that attribution-less pure awareness, Brahma eva, vividyaset, he should meditate on that Nirguna Brahma. Iti aha nityeti. Now, this is the first shloka. What is the purpose of the next 15 steps which he is going to Tripancha Angani for the Nididhyasana? What are the requirements? He is explaining from the next shloka onwards. Here he is taking out, in this 2 shlokas, he has completely covered all the Patanjali's methods. which he is not denying it. That is also complementary, but that is not the exact meaning what Patanjali has mentioned in his Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Acharya Shankara gives a different meaning for that. Okay, Lalita Bhagini, patati va?
पठामि महोदय. यमो हि नियमस्त्यागो मौनन्देशश्च कालता आसनं मूलबन्धश्च देहसाम्यंश्च दृक्स्थितिः प्राणसंयमनं चैव प्रत्याहारश्च धारणा आत्मध्यानं समाधिश्च प्रोक्तान्यङ्गानि वैक्रमात्. पदच्छेदः. यमः हि नियमः त्यागः मौनं देशः च कालता आसनं मूलबन्धः च देहसाम्यं च दृक्स्थितिः प्राणसंयमनं च एव प्रत्याहारः च धारणा आत्मध्यानं समाधिः च प्रोक्तानि अङ्गानि वै क्रमात्. अन्वयः. यमः हि नियमः त्यागः मौनं देशः च कालता आसनं मूलबन्धः च देहसाम्यं च दृक्स्थितिः प्राणसंयमनं च एव प्रत्याहारः च धारणा आत्मध्यानं समाधिः अङ्गानि वै क्रमात् च प्रोक्तानि. ननु कानि तान्यङ्गानि यैः सह निदिध्यासनं कर्तव्यमिति अपेक्षायां तानि निर्दिशति. यम इति द्वाभ्याम् उत्तानार्थावुभावपि श्लोकौ. उत्तानार्थावुभावपि श्लोकौ. धन्यवादः.
Here he is covering the from Yama to Samadhi, all the Angani of Patanjali, and covers in those two slokas. Here he is only listing them. The details are taken up one by one in each of the following slokas. So the meanings are given here, there in the sloka. So I will just explain the list of the Anya Angani. What Yama hi Niyama. He is saying that Yama of Patanjali is the Niyama in our case. Tyagaha is Maunam. Desha Kalata Asanam cha Moolabandham. So there are the three things are to be taken together: Desha, Kalam, and Asanam location. Desha means it is the what you call ambience. Kalata means time. Asana means where you are localized where it is thing. Moolabandha is the method in which you have to locate yourself. Deha samyam cha drik sthitihi. The equilibrium in the body, that is the drik sthitihi. Prana samyamanam cha eva pratyahara. Now pratyahara of Patanjali is withdrawing from external to internal. Here Shankara says prana samyamanam cha eva pratyahara. Dharana in atmadhyanam samadhi angani. So dharana is atmadhyanam. There dharana this. Now I am not taking the Patanjali's meaning here, explaining, because that has no relevance here. But if you are interested, you can read the book and read Patanjali's commentary and find out. But that has no relevance when we are talking about the what you call aparokshanubhuti krama nididhyasana. So dharana atmadhyanam samadhi angani vai kramat. So these are the angas which is being told. Nanu kani tani angani. Now what are the angani? Nididhyasanam kartavyam. What is the method in which nididhyasanam should be done? Ityapekshayam, in addressing that, tani nirdishati. those are being addressed. Yama iti dvabhyam uttanartha ubhau api slokau. In these ubhau shloka, in these two shloka, Acharya Shankara has listed what are the details. Now in the next shloka is where he is talking about Yama. Vijaya Bhagini, can you read it? Or okay, Chandni Bhagini, can you read it?
सर्वब्रह्मेति विज्ञादिं द्रियग्रामसंययम् यामेयेमि सम्प्रोक्तो ध्यासनियो मुहुर्मुहुः पदच्छेद सर्वब्रह्म इति सर्वं Is it okay?
Yeah, you read it.
Padacheda sarvam brahma iti vijnanat indriya grama samyam ayam yam iti samproktah abhyasinayah muhurmuhuh. Padacheda sarvam brahma asti iti vijnanat indriya ग्राम संयम अयम यम इति संप्रोक्तः सः मुहुर्मुहुः अभ्यासनीयः इदानीम् एतेषां प्रत्येकं निर्देशक्रमेण स्वाभिमतानि लक्ष्याणि आह सर्वमित्याद्येक विंशत्या तत्र प्रथमोदिष्टं यमं तावत् दर्शयति सर्वमिति सर्वम् आकाशादि देहातं जगत् ब्रह्म बाधसमानाधिकारण्यद्वारा स्थाणुपुरुषादिवत् इत्यर्थः इति विज्ञान अनिश्चयात् हेतोः इन्द्रियाणां श्रोत्रादीनामे काल दशकारणानां ग्रामः समूहः तस्य संयमः सम्यक् शब्दादि विषयाणां विनाशित्व सातिशत्यवधूः खडत्वादि दोषदर्शनात् यमो विषयेभ्यो निवारणम् अयं यम इति संप्रोक्तः न तु केवलं हिंसादिरित्यर्थः ततश्च किमत् आह अभ्यासनीय इति अयं मुहुर्मुहुर्व्यसनीय इति। धन्यवादः।
सर्वं ब्रह्म इति विज्ञानात् इंद्रिय संयमम् अयं यम इति प्रोक्तः अभ्यासनीय मुहुर्मुहुः। सर्वं ब्रह्म इति सर्वं खलु इदं ब्रह्म इति विज्ञानात्, that by the knowledge that sarvam khalu idam brahma iti indriya grama samyamam. Indriya grama means the group of indriyas. Indriya grama means the group of indriyas. They here includes pancha jnanendriya, pancha karmendriya, sense organs and organs of action, and includes prana, all pancha prana also, because that also is doing karma within the body, but the external indriyas are doing the external karma, and sense organs are the sense organs. So we have 15 of them, and mana is the 16th one. So all these put together is called indriya grama. Samyamam ayam yamaha, controlling and in keeping in check and regulating them. All these 16 of the organs is called yama iti samproktaha. And abhyasaniya muhurmuhu, one who is in the nididhyasana process, he has to practice this again and again. Muhurmuhu means again and again. Now, sarvam brahma asti iti vijnana indriya grama samyamam ayam yama iti samproktaha. Saha mumukshu abhyasaniya. That is what exactly the meaning is. Idanim etesham pratyegam nirdesha kramena swabhimatani lakshanani aha. Idanim, here from now onwards, etesham pratyegam, each of that what was listed in the previous, that couple of slokas in the before, pratyegam, each one, nirdesha kramena, in the order of advising, swabhimatanani lakshanani aha, and in the swa abhimatani, in the mind, in the interest or the meaning as per the acharya, is lakshana. He is giving in the meaning or the indicative meaning of those each word. Sarvam ityega vimshatya tatra pratamodishtam yama. Now here he is talking about 21. So I told you 15 plus 1, 16, but he is taking as 21 here, ekavimshati. That includes further. No. Ekavimshati is the Panjendriya, Panja Karmendriya, Panja Jnanendriya, Panja Pranaha, then Manobuddhi Ahankara Chitta, and then Sharira Traya, and all those things put together is 21. So Sarvam ityadhya ekam vimshati tatra pratamodishtam. Again, the method in which we use these organs of our physical body with a regulation is called yama. Tavat darshayati sarvamiti sarvam akashati dehantam jagat brahma bada samanadikaranya dwara tanu purushadivat ityartaha. Now, in this, yama is controlling or in balancing the 21 aspects in the body, which is also told in the Upanishad that how the creation has taken place. Astasmat akasha samputa akashad vayu vayuragni agnirapaha adda prithvi prithivyor aushataya aushadvyannam annat purushaha purushat annamayaha. So like that. So from the akashati dehandam, from the space, from the akasha to the deha, jagat brahma, the entire jagat is from that one brahma bada samanadikaranya dwara. Now samanadikaranyam is a terminology which is used in Sanskrit for indicating commonality of two things in one place. Now, Bada Samanadikaranyam is where you remove that there is actually only one, so there is no two, so to have a common place is redundant. When you have two only, then commonality of the substratum will come. But the substratum and the two are when the same, one and the same, then it is Bada Samanadikaranyam. So, Stanu Purushadivat ityartaha. The post, the ghost, and the appearance of the ghost and the post. When the post and the ghost are appearing to be two, then both have got one place, the post on which it can appear. The post as it is appearing as a post. The ghost which is appearing on the post is also nothing other than the post. and the post, the ghost, and the original one, which is in which the feeling of the post as well as the ghost is appeared, all the three are one. So this is the Bada Samanadikaranya Dwara. Same way, Sarvam Brahmam is because of that Akashadi Deha Paryantam is all from that one awareness which we are feeling, having the multitude of experiences of separated only for Vacharambanam Vikaro Namadeyam Nritikateva Satyam. It is just like, it is only the name and form of the objects are independent. Everyone which has got a name and form has got in essence, there is only one reality in that, which is the existence and awareness, Satchidananda. And the Satchidananda, we call it as by Akasha, Vayu, Agni, human being, animal, planet, tree, everything is the name and form, but it is all made out of only one substance which is called Satchidananda or Brahma. So, Sarvam Khaluidam Brahma, Sarvam Brahma iti. That knowledge can come only when you have to have that Bada Samanadikaranya Dwara, the method of removing the feeling of multitude in a common substratum. For example, the given is the Sanupurushadivat Ityartaha. Idi Vijnana Anistayat Hetoho Indriyanam Shrotradinam Ekadesha Karananam Gramaha Samuhaha Tasya Samyamaha Samyak Tasya Samyamaha. So, for the knowledge, Idi Vijnana Anischayat, because of the Indriyas. Hetu is the Indriyas. It is because of the sense organs we have seen the Indriya Grama. So he is listing Shrotradinam, Ekadesha Karananam, Gramaha Samuha. So the Indriyas, the light is coming through one Indriya, the sound is coming from another Indriya, touch, taste, smell, all coming from different Indriya. But the Ekadesha Karanam, and they are all coming to one substratum which is in awareness. So if you look at that, the sense organs, there are multiplicity. But if you look at the experience of knowing, there is only one. So Samanya Karanam is Badana Samanya Karanam. So the light of an object or the touch of an object are not two separate, but both are in awareness. So when this Samyak Shabdadi Vishayanam Vinashitva Sati Sadishayatvad Dukkadatwadi Dosha Darshanat Yamaho Vishayo Bhyo Nivaranam Yayam Yamaha. Now, Shabdadi Vishayanam Vinashitva. By removing Vinashitva means you can't remove it by destroying it. Vishayanam Vinashitva. Vishaya of or the Vishaya, when what happens is Vishaya. Vishaya Shabda is one input. The sound is one input. The object which we get through the Shabda, we consider as separate. We call it as sound. The object of the sound is one. The awareness of the sound is the Vishaya, is the object of the sound. So, iti Sadishayatvam, the differential, because when different sounds are coming, we are having a comparative nature of things. But when you remove that, the multitude of the sound, which is here is indicating the names which we know in simple terms. But if you look at it, it is a alphabet pronounced in different way. The effect of the sound is what actually we are hearing. But when we are hearing a word, we are not hearing the word alone, but we are also having a knowledge of an object, a Vishaya. Now, this aspect of the awareness of an object diverged through the sound. When we do not have the real understanding of that, then what happens is dukkadadi tvadi dosha darshana. Then we attribute the Vishayas are separate, each one has got qualities separate, and that attributions which we are giving on to the name and form of the object, that is the cause for the sorrow of, because of the misunderstanding, we are not even knowing what we are knowing through our sense organs. Acharya is simply putting that. We are assuming that we are knowing the objects by our sense organs, but we are not even knowing what the object is, because the objects, the sense organs are giving one aspect of it, and when it is coming through one object, instead of knowing it as awareness, we are knowing it as an object residing external to us, and then on that we add the name and form and the qualities, which is creating the sorrow in us. Controlling that, tasya samyamaha samyak. Vishebhyo nivaranam. Yamo vishebhyo nivaranam ayam yama iti samprokta. Now, in this type of an analysis when we do, we are removing nivaranam, what vishayebhya, the multiplicity of the objects which is seen outside. We are not seeing prapancha as multiplicit or a multitude, but we are seeing the Brahma eva, sarvam Brahma asti. That awareness, bringing in our internal understanding, is what is called yama iti samproktaha. Natu kevala ahimsadi ityartaha. Now in the Patanjali is saying that no, ahimsa shantirajabam, all those terms are they saying. Satyam, Asteyam, Ahimsa, Shantirajamam, all those methods are given for Yama. So he is saying it is not only that, all those are names. What is that? Sarvam Brahma iti, or everything is Brahma, is the knowledge. When you are aware of that, the name and the forms and the experiences through the sense organs, even though comes as multitudes, it is all merging in Bhada Samanalakaranyam. We are having only one experience of awareness. When we do that, Vishayebhya Nivaranam, then the multitude, when you remove from that, then you are doing the Yama, which is required for the Nididhyasana, the first step of the Nididhyasana. This is the beginning from where that the thought process have to start with our own yama, niyama, etc. all of it. Kevala ahimsadi ityartaha natu. Tataha kimata aha abhyasaniya iti ayam muhur abhyasaniya iti. This cannot come as natural for us, because Anantakodi Janma, the innumerable births we have taken, and the indriyas, the mind, the intellect, everything is so trained and conditioned to only see multiplicity in things. Only through practice of this thought of a yama, that sarvam brahma, if that awareness is abiding in that thing, Vishayan is not the multiplicity of the object. The multiplicity of the object is an illusion because of the adhyasa, where the sthanu and the purusha, the ghost, is superimposed on the post, and if you know the reality, there is only a stump, which we call it as post as well as ghost. When the post and the ghost and the stump becomes one and the same, there is no multitude. Same way, the objects outside, the sense organs or the sensing, and in the awareness within us, who is knowing that or what our nature is there, in reality there is no three separating. It is the same awareness The sense organs are also bringing the awareness. What we think as a nice object outside, when we do the Vada Samana Vekaranyam, when we remove that, the individual entity feeling which the mind had developed over and over through the ages, when we know that this is to be practiced on a every moment basis for the jnana to shine in our mind. Muhur muhur abhyasaniya iti. This is the first sloka. Patrick had some questions, and I know Shobha and Chantani, Leta Bhagini. I'll give the next 10 minutes for question and answer session. Because each of these slokas have got very, very deep and philosophical meaning. It is not the Patanjali's Yama, Niyama, Arthahara, Asana, Dhyana, Dhyana, Samana, etc. So we have to study this method of Nididhyasana, which Shankara is saying in this Aparokshanubhuti, keeping aside what Patanjali has said. That is good for the physical body. Because in the Yoga Sutra, which is followed by the Sankhya system, Purusha and Prakriti are separate. So from that in mind, for the body is that of the Prakriti. The Purusha is Asangaha Nitya. So Purusha doesn't need anything. So body needs the Yama, Niyama, Pranaya, all those things. So let us get in the question and answer session now for the next 10 minutes. Yes, Patrick.
Well, I can let the others go first.
Okay, Shobha Bhagini, Vidya Bhagini, Leda Bhagini, Chandri Bhagini.
Patrick Mudaya, you go first, Mudaya.
Well, my questions will last about 10 hours, but I'll start with the first obvious one. And why is it that I think I raised the question of Patanjali the other day with you and just your own personal exploration. Why is it that Shankara brings in Patanjali in this discussion? What was his strategy there?
Well, if you look at in the previous sloka, where he has mentioned karma, upasana, ityadi, all that, which are the things that is practiced in the current seekers who think they are doing the right method of knowing that Atma or Brahman. They are getting into the acts of Yoga Sutra, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Dhyana, Dharana, Samadhi. And Samadhi is one which, there they say that, Samadhistaha eva, is the ultimate. Nirvikalpa Samadhi is what Patanjali is telling as the ultimate. But as for Shankara, whatever you do with that duality in mind, even the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, there are two. The one who is doing the Samadhi, the act of Samadhi, and the goal of Samadhi. There is always three in the picture, even Patanjali. So Shankara's philosophy is very clear. As long as we have that otherness in any of our thoughts, you are not in the truth. You are in the delusion. That otherness can appear but has no reality, then you are in the truth. For that purpose, he has to bring Patanjali in and tell that Patanjali's methods, even though the terms can be good, but the exact meaning of the terms as per Advaita has to be understood in a different way for people who want to do Nididhyasana on the Atma Tattva, Brahma Tattva.
It isn't, well, I think it is, but the idea that conditioning the body to see truth is an important element of yoga in the bigger sense.
Yoga in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, they give more importance for the previous steps of Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Pratyahara. All those steps are more important, where even each one of them has got multiple subsets. Satyam, Asthayam, Brahmacharyam, etc. are some of those things. In if you are reading that Patanjali Yoga Sutra, you will understand that.
Yeah.
So in all those steps, the reality of the world is very much accepted, and that Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, that feeling, or Sarvam Brahm Kalvidam Brahma, which is the Upanishadic statement, is not reflecting in that method of Patanjali.
But his approach wasn't a dualist approach. It was just simply establishing yoga in the body and mind. It wasn't a dualistic approach.
It was a dualistic approach because it is part of the Sankhya, where that Ishvara Pranidhanam, Ishvara is separate from you. Okay. In that the God is separate, and you are invoking God in your mind, dharana.
Okay.
So there is the duality is there very much.
I've got more, but I'll let the others ask because we're running tight on time. If there are more.
Lalita Bhagini?
Mahodaya.
Did you understand the Bhava Samanadhikaranya?
Hello? Hello? Did he say anything? I can't hear properly.
Did you understand what is the Bhava Samanadhikaranya Dwara? That word meaning?
No, I didn't understand that.
So, I thought you will ask that. Shobha Bhagini, did you understand that? Shobha Bhagini?
Mudaya. Sorry, I was on mute. Didn't realize. Badha Samanadhi Karanya Dwara.
What does that mean? That word has got very much importance in understanding what is yama. In the entire sloka and explanation, that is the one which is indicating what is yama.
So here, Mahodaya, yama means it's 1 second. Yama is not the way Patanjali meant. Here, yama means controlling the senses. So, and the Saramsha I'm getting is that Nididhyasa, which is profound, constant meditation on Brahman, which is our Swarupa, to remove the Adhyasaha, that has happened. But Tatra Badha Samana Adhikaranya Dwara iti Punarekawaram vadatu Mahodaya, that word.
See, if you read that sloka, Yamam Tavad Darshayati. What is Yamam is being shown. Sarvam iti Sarvam means what is Sarvam he is explaining. Akashati Dehanta Jagat Brahma. Starting from the space to the physical material body or material things. Dehantam. So from the subtlest of the subtlest space to the grossest what is called the body, and that is what is known as Jagat. That Jagat eva Brahma. Sarvam Brahma asti. Right? Now that multiplicity, how do you say is one? Akashadi Dehantam means it is multiplicity, which is known as the Jagat.
Yes.
That Kadam Brahma Bhavati. How can it become Brahma, or how it is to be known as Brahma? For that, Bada Samanadhikaranya Dwara Stanu Purushadivat Ityartaha. That is, Bada Samanadhikaranya is a methodology with which only you can understand that from the subtlest of the space to the grossest of the physical body, which is known as the universe, is Brahma. Only example he is giving is Sthanu Purushadivat. Very simple short sentence. But it has got a pregnant meaning which you can write it for even one book on that. What does it say? Sthanu means post. Purusha means on the post we are feeling a man there or a ghost there.
Imposition.
Yeah. Adivat. Adivat means like that. On a post we are attributing a appearance of a person or a ghost. How there is not three. The substratum of the post, which is called the stump or the post, which is the reality, it has got a name and form called the post. On that, we are also seeing the appearance of a person.
Mm-hmm.
So we have three there: the substratum, the post, which has got a name and form, and then the superimposed Purusha or the ghost or a man in on that. But when you remove that, is the three separate reality, three separate entity of having independent reality?
No.
No. So that is the removal. Bada means removal. Samanadhikaranam means the common substratum on which multitudes are appearing is called Samana. Adhikaranam means substratum. Samana Adhikaranam means common substratum. The common substratum, Bada, on that whatever is being applied as multitude, when you remove it, only the Adhikaranam will remain. The name and form of the post is gone. The appearance of the ghost is or the man is gone. All what is there is that wooden log, which we call it as by name post. Name and form. Same way, Akashadi Dehanta, what we call it as universe, is how it is happening. He explained it in that Shotradina Ekadesha Karanam Grama Samuha. When the sound is coming, we are hearing multiple sounds, Akaradi, Varnamala, and that vowels and the consonants, all put together, the different names we are creating, and different names have got different objects we have. All that when we remove it, it is all one entity called sound, right?
Yes. So, go ahead, finish Mother, I'll ask you.
Same way, you take all the indriyas. You have what is called is the sound. Same way you have the light, touch, sense, smell, anything which you take. The three is reduced into one in order. Now we have got 21 indriyas as per the details what he has given, including the sense organs of action, internal action, mano, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, and the pancha tanmatras, all those things put together, 21 entities are listed in the Shastra. Now these 21 entities put together is what is called the experience of the world. Even when we are having 21 entities as an experience of the world, where is the substratum in which all these things can be merged? And Bada Samanadhikaranyam means by removing the multiplicity, the common substratum where they all resolve and merge together into one. What is that? The one who is experiencing, no?
Yes. The experiencer and the experience are the same.
The multitude of the objects of the experiences or multitude is in awareness. Awareness is the substratum in which you have the sound experience, the light experience, the touch experience, that thing. These are all the multitude which are in the same substratum of experience. And the experience and the objects of each of them are two separate things. But unless the experiencer is giving the substratum to experience it, does the experience exist? Does the object exist?
No.
That is what is called Bhada Samanadhikaranya Dwara.
So
By
here,
doing that, yeah? Now tell me.
no, here shall we compare then? So the experiencer is giving the substratum, means that post would be the substratum then, and then to experience, that superimposition is placed on it, that there is a person there. Can we say it like that?
No, even the post has got a name and form, which is the beginning of it.
So it starts with the name and the form of a post, whereas
Same way, we have a name and form to start with, I, the
Right.
individuality.
Mhm.
In the individuality, when the experiences happen, the multiplicity of the objects, for that, the individual becomes the experiencer.
Mhm.
The object becomes the object, and the connection between them becomes the interaction or the relationship between the perceiver and the perceived, and the act of perceiving. But all the three things are not independent of each other. They are all because of it is the awareness, where the feeling of perceiver also is the beginning of it. Like the post with the name and form is the beginning of it.
Yes. My question is how or why, but there is no answer to that unless we experience it. I think I understand the process in the, the experiencer being Brahman, or as a substratum. Once the substratum is created, the experience starts happening, and that substratum is within that awareness only, and everything is appearance, even the experience. So the experience being the Srishti, the Jagat, and through the 21 Indriyas that we are experiencing. If we remove all that, it is just that awareness that we are. My question is, which I probably won't understand until I experience it.
Who is experiencing it?
Why? Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand that. I'm saying this even this what I'm saying right now is with awareness only, because nothing else is real other than the awareness.
Right.
So, but how is the big question? And
Abhyasaniya muhurmuhu.
I know. See, that's what. I have to get there, Mahodaya.
Right.
Through constant, that's
For
why I
constant
have
practice. This is why for the Nididhyasana, Yamam is the first stage where you start analyzing your own experience of
Right.
the Indriyas and everything.
yes.
That when you keep practicing it, then only you will be able to shift your locus standi from the senses to the experiencer.
So instead of analyzing the experiences, is it enough to just know that these experiences are all happening in the awareness, just to be constantly be aware of the awareness?
Because you cannot be aware of the awareness.
Well, what I mean is, aware of the awareness means that all of this is happening in awareness.
That is again thought process. There you are that I am the thinker, I am doing the analysis, and there is a process of analysis that again will continue to happen. That is why Bhada Samanadhikaranyam, or that reducing into one commonality, can happen only by the practice of Yama or Vijara, which we have to do by every experience. Bodham prati pratibodha vididam matam amrutastvam hirintade.
No, what
So
I
only
mean
method.
is putting, including myself in it too, not as the body is analyzing. Will I be analyzing, knowing that the body itself is part of the process, that it's not me.
Yeah, no, but
So-
that is that Shankara said, no, sarvam brahma iti. Akashadi dehanta jagat brahma.
Mhm.
What does it mean? There cannot be separate I in that.
Right. So when we say, what do we do nididhyasa on then? That all of this is Brahman, correct? But
Because
who is thinking
where-
this now? Who is saying all
wherever
of this is?
wherever there is a guna which is coming up in the mind, that is not the reality. Nirguna Brahmasya, when you want to go towards the Nirguna Brahma or the pure awareness, any qualification, contribution, any even a speck of dust in that will be so prominent when you are coming towards that. So it will be easy for you to identify that speck of dust, to segregate it from that is not the reality.
Mhm.
It will be so vivid. There is nothing more vivid than that. It is happening this very moment for all of us. But we are so used to the dust or the pictures or the objects in the world outside, we do not see the vivid awareness in which they are all appearing.
So at this point, all we can do is that, how do I put this? So knowing that everything that we see through the 21 sense organs, indriyani, that we see, perceive, hear, whatever, all of that is not separate, that it's happening because there is a substratum. Other than doing that, other than always remembering that I am Brahman, how else can we, because that's what I'm asking, that's what can be done, but I'm at the same time remembering that I is not this body I, not, that Jivatma I, knowing that that I is Brahman only, and when as Brahman we don't even experience that I-ness because there is no second to be I and something else, that understanding is there. That's how I understand it. So is there a difference in what you are saying?
The difference is the two ways. If you are in that awareness and you are that awareness when you know that, then from that side there is nothing more to be done. But if you are not there, the other method is what the Shastra says. The moment a speck of dust comes, you should understand it is not the, so neti, and not that, not that.
Then there's
Any
a
guna,
continuous process through all the waking moments.
No, in the continuous process, when you do that, what happens is that you are also asked to look into the reality of that experience. It is not that you are just negating it.
Okay, I see.
So
how do we do that? How do we look into the reality of the experience?
Where do that experience come? Before negating that, does it have an independent reality?
No, it never had a reality.
Right. So when you that is the way to remove it. Not that I don't want to hear the light, I don't want to see the sound. No, not that way.
So you're saying, so when I look around me, it's not enough to know that none of this is real, that I should analyze the experience of why I'm perceiving it. Is that
right?
What?
Yeah, that's right. That experience has got a reality, otherwise it won't be experienced.
True.
So that experience is not in the object and the adjectives of the object. It is the awareness of experiencing which makes the object appear to be object separate, but that knowledge that it is separate from me is what is creating the confusion of the experience of the world. But
so
in
I should
reality,
be asking, why is this even appearing?
no, it will appear because that is the nature of the.
How is it appearing? Is that what I should be?
No, not how it is appearing. What is the reality of the appearance?
But
when you find out the reality of the appearances, you will know why it is appearing also. You will know that it is not really appearing, it is only appearance. It has not real independent existence. That happens whenever we are in our deep sleep. Raji?
So it differs man to man, isn't it?
Not that man. It depends upon how deep you can analyze it. The capacity of our analysis is there for all of us.
Now in this place, it's depending on the capacity of the person.
Yeah, it will definitely help. That is why Acharya is saying, you need to practice methodologies which is given in the Shastras to do that.
So analyze the experience, every experience.
Bodham prati. And muhur abhyasaniya.
So do we start off, Mahodaya, without knowing?
You don't have to know awareness. You don't have to know awareness.
So how do I analyze it without, I don't know why it is appearing.
You look into the reality of an object. No? What is the reality appearing in the object? Is it the name? Is it the form? What is changing is not the reality of it. No?
So I just constantly remind myself of it has a name, it has a form, but it really doesn't.
Right. You tell me one object which has got a real name and form which is independently real without you.
None of them.
Yeah, that is exactly what is being told. When you do that, you will resolve the differences and come to the understanding it is all into the awareness, which including I. Even the feeling of I is also an awareness in that awareness.
Right. Okay.
That will be the final stage where even the I has to be dropped. Because even the I is an awareness in my awareness.
So this is the nididhyasa that is being referred to?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll see more and more of it now. It's very interesting, this 40 slokas.
Yes, to be given steps like this is actually, that is a blessing.
Right. Okay, so we'll stop here.
Astu, dhanyavada Mahodaya.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavada. Thank you all.
Dhanyavada Mahodaya.
Dhanyavada Mahodaya.
Dhanyavada.
Bahut dhanyawad.
Thank you. Dhanyavada.